Next up on my government series, we're going to be discussing these 5 topics. Money is the cause of most murders and robberies. Yes, it is. The government, we know my stance on the government, but I'm going to repeat it. Racism, minimum wage, how expensive the hospitals are. Let's get into it. So when it comes to healthcare, as you know, like every other country has free healthcare, and there was a study here that says most Americans do not want free healthcare. And then there's also, the insurance companies do not want it because insurance companies are the ones who pay for it. As well as the government, they don't believe in it because the government believes in a hands-off approach. They think that is something they shouldn't step in and do. Now, that's bogus. The insurance companies need to fuck off, and the government needs to step in and put in universal free healthcare. Healthcare is a right bestowed down to every single citizen of the world, and nobody should be told that they can't have it because they don't have money. So I'm not going to sit here and discuss minimum wage as the question wanted me to, because I'm a believer of, I like the way minimum wage is. If I could change one thing, yes, I would up it to $10 an hour, but really I think it's fine as to where it is. So next topic. Alright, I'm going to be discussing the murders for money, the government, and racism. Now we're going to have to bite the bullet on this one. Government, we need a clean house. Stop voting Republicans and Democrats in. They're the ones killing the country. Republicans and Democrats out there, you need to accept that. Stop living in a fantasy world. Now the money issue. That derives from people not getting fair opportunities, and that leads us right into racism. Yes, there are white, low-income people that don't get the jobs. Yes, they are prejudiced against them. There are other white people who are prejudiced against white people for being low-income, so they don't get those opportunities. We need to address that. That is a form of racism, but it's not as bad as what it is for the black community. They have it worse, and people don't seem to want to acknowledge that, specifically white males, even some females. So, there's a lot to unravel here, but we need to basically, this is an answer not many people are going to like, but racism is never going to go away, and that is just something that people within the African American community and every other community, whites, Hispanics, Asians, you're going to get discriminated against. That's just going to happen. Racism is going to be around. I saw someone online say you can't be right, someone who's a white American can't have racism happen to that. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard, because that is true, that can happen. But the main issue is the black community. They're unfairly targeted based on their race and the color of their skin. There is no way we can get away from that. We can minimize it, but it will never be gone. Now, being racist, should that be illegal? No. That's freedom of speech. Acting on those racial tendencies, that is illegal. You should not be able to touch or do anything to them. And doing racially motivated things can get you kicked out of somewhere. That is legal. If you get kicked out of a place owned by someone because they don't want you doing that, that is legal. You need to suck it up and go do your racist shit on your own time at your house. Now the crimes for money, that goes to the jobs. We need to have less biased personnel running the jobs. And the only way we can do that, clean house with the government. Back to my government point. We need to clean house. Get all the Republicans and Democrats out of there. Democrats, liberals, you're living in a fantasy world. Democrats don't give a fuck about you. Get your head out of your ass. They don't care. They're just like Republicans. They don't give a shit. So we need to put new people in there. We need to put independents, Greens, Libertarians. We need to put new people in there. Or just abolish political parties in general and have people run on their own. Vote for the person you look for the most, not just because you saw red and clicked red, or blue because you picked blue. You vote for the person you agree with. So that is how I would fix these issues.